All right, so here's our second lesson from chapter 6, and we're still talking about perimeter and area, but now we're talking about triangles and trapezoids. So I do have a piece of the homework. I have the notes for this in the packet that was handed out, so go and grab that, get yourself ready for notes, and we're going to get started. So a couple of pieces of vocabulary to fill in here. The first is vertices, which you'll see written. And that's just the plural of vertex, which is the corner of the angle. So in number 1, it says find the area of the triangle with the given vertices. That just means that the corners are at these coordinate points. So in this drawing of a triangle, this here and here are all going to be our vertices. And the area is base times height again, but it's just a half with a triangle. And again, it doesn't matter the orientation because we are talking about things that are perpendicular, like so. Now here in number 1, it says find the area of the triangle with the given vertices -1, 1, 1, 5, and 3, 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is graph those out. And I'm going to label this and call this -1, which gives us a little bit more zoomed in scale. So this would be +1. Here, 1, all the way up to 5. So that when I graph this, -1, 1, our first point is here along the x-axis and then the y, because we always start x first and then y. Then 1, 5, just all the way at the top here. And 3, 1. So then my triangle goes here, like so. And here we can see the steps that I recommend that you follow. Is label the base and draw the height from the point that's not part of the base. So in this case, I'm going to call this here the base, which means the height is from this down and is the perpendicular. So here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice I'm counting on the lines, not the little boxes. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my base is equal to 4 units. And my height, 1, 2, 3, 4, is also 4. So then my area, I like using 1/2 base times height. You could also use base times height divided by 2. Multiplying by half and dividing by 2 give you the same answer. So that's half of 16, which would be 8. And you could write 8 units squared, or you can just leave it like that. Now, here, I'm going to write the perimeter of a triangle. Now, one thing that I'm going to do to make this problem a little bit easier, and you can too, is I'm just going to remove the exponents. And it's not to say exponents aren't important, but in the case of this problem, I want us to practice combining like terms with negatives. So I'm just going to remove those, and you can too. So here, the perimeter is going around the outside. So just like last time, I'm going to start with one of my sides. Whoops, sorry about that jump. And I'm going to say, well, the perimeter is x plus 4. The next one is 2x minus 4x. The bottom, so this would be one side, plus 5x minus x plus x minus 9. And we're not solving for this, we're just writing it. And you're going to run into this problem in your textbook as well. You're not having to solve for x, you're just going to then simplify your like terms. And this is a really important idea to practice. So simplify like terms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to order the like terms all together. So my x terms are x plus 2x minus 4x plus 5x minus x plus x. So there's a lot of those. And then my constant terms are 4 minus 9. Now, one thing that's helpful here is I can even just keep track on my hands or on fingers, however you want to do this, is that I have 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 4 is -1. -1 plus 5 is 4. Minus 1 is 3 plus 1 is back to 4. So I end up with 4x plus 4 minus 9, which gives me 4x minus 5. Because remember, 4 minus 9 is -5. And that would be our expression of the perimeter. Since we don't know what x is, you can just leave it like that. All right, now you're also going to be asked to find the area of a trapezoid. So a trapezoid is a shape where you have two parallel sides that we call our bases. So B1 and B2, our first base and our second base. And again, the height is perpendicular. The formula is 1/2, again, base times height, but here there's two bases, so you have to add them together. So again, kind of like your triangle, 1/2 base times height, except for here there's two, so you add them. And the bases are always going to be perpendicular to the height, and they're parallel to each other. So if I'm looking at number 3 here, it says find the perimeter of the trapezoid below. Now again, I'm just going to go in the order. So perimeter first. And that just means adding up the outside. So 7 plus 3 plus another 7 plus 11. Now you'll notice I'm going 7, 3, 7, 11. 6 is on the inside. 6 is not part of the perimeter. And from there, I will just add those, and they equal 28. Again, there's no unit given. It's not 28 centimeters. It's not 28 feet. So I'll just leave it like that. For the area, it's a trapezoid, and it's really helpful to make sure that I am labeling my bases and my height correctly. So in this case, I've got my base 1 and base 2, because those are the ones that are parallel to each other. And then we have our perpendicular here, which means that 6 is our height. So plugging that into our formula, we end up with area is equal to 1/2 base 1, 3, plus base 2, 11, times 6. So again, bases and height are not about vertical versus horizontal. They are about parallel and perpendicular. Going through there, we get 1/2 14 times 6. I'm going to do 1/2 times 14 first, which is 7, and that's equal to 42. Again, there's no unit, so I'll leave it like that. All right, you've got a work day on Wednesday, and then you have a quiz on Thursday since there's no school on Friday. However, I will be in conferences with your parents. I am not going to take off points if you do get things in a little bit later this week, but I would love to have you focus on spending time with your family and then maybe a little bit on getting caught up if you are behind on anything. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help in Zoom, email, or in the comments, and I'll talk